Howdy folks, it's a Tall Turtle here for the final build update and demonstration of the LEGO Grand Piano. I have decided I am going to do a demonstration on this channel as well as my piano channel. So for those of you who have subscribed to my piano channel to see the demonstration, that's also going to be on this channel. It wasn't like a ploy to get more subscribers over there. It was simply because I didn't know what I was going to do at the time. But subscribe over there anyway if you haven't. So here we go. What do we have to do? A few final things. I put 15.5 hours into this piano, but everything I said still stands. It's easy to put together. It just takes a lot of time, which isn't a bad thing. It just takes a lot of time. But also, it's not very solid until you get it together. So like this lid came apart on me a few times as I was trying to build it, and other parts came apart until it was all put together. So you do have to be careful of that. It's not a solid build until it's all together. I already talked previously in the previous video, adjusting the action and everything, not just simply slapping together, but making adjustments so it actually works. So the lid, the prop, those of you who don't play piano, there's this inside thing with us piano folk. There's normally two holes, sometimes three, with one or two, sometimes three props, and people like stagehands more often than not, get the props in the wrong holes because they're shaped differently. Like there'll be triangles versus circles versus squares for the different angles of the prop. And you'll get up there to play, you take your bow, you sit down, and you'll see the big prop in the small prop's hole, and you're like, is this going to fall as I play? It's very scary. I bring that up because there's a bunch of holes here, and there's one hole where it fits in easiest and the most solid. So it's just kind of funny. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, those of you who don't, I'm sorry, but look at a grand piano, you'll see what I'm talking about. The music desk comes up and there's little clips in the back that hold it in place just like real life, and then you have to move the clips to put the desk down. You come over here and we're going to put this all together now, hopefully with one hand, because I'm holding my microphone because it picks up all the extraneous clicks and bops and boops and is really hard to edit. So I'm going to hold my other microphone while I try to do this with one hand. I'm going to slide the action in together. We already demonstrated the action in a previous video. I'm not going to do it again. And can I do this with one hand? With two hands is really easy. There you go. And the reason why it's not level is because I was playing it earlier and the motor thing inside isn't level. I didn't stop in a level position, but there is a reset button in the app to make a level. So when you're done, you can reset it, which I haven't done before I started recording. And then this is exactly how real grand piano is, by the way. You can slide the action out just like that. Super easy. We may or may not have done it in college. Because that was 25 years ago. I can say that now. Well, this slides into place again like real life. And then this has two pins that hold it in place underneath or even in frame. I'm doing this off to the side of the camera. There we go. Is it even focused? There we go. Come down here and there are two pinholes. Can I do this with one hand? Because you have to hold the top. There we go. There's one. And then there's the other. Where are you? So it is meant to be removed with ease. There you go. There's a pretend little lock thing. That's so adorable. And then this, like real life, just slides right in there. It's actually it's really easy to get into a grand piano if they don't lock it. So what they'll normally do is there'll normally be a big thing that clips over with a big lock on the bottom in real life, because this just doesn't do anything. It's just a deterrent. But there'll actually be big locks. But if you ever have an open piano, just pop this up, slide that out. Don't even need any tools. Just pop this up, slide that out, and take the action out. I am not kidding. It is that easy. So those of you watching who have grand pianos, lock them up. Alrighty, something else to show you though with this fall board, this is called. So this is the lid. The inside of the lid is the fall board. This is the LEGO logo. Let me see if I can pick this up with one hand. Oh, this might not go well. If I pick this up, this thing is, what I say was 15 pounds with one hand on the wrist. There we go. See that LEGO logo right there? That one? That is the original LEGO logo from 1934. Sorry, I'm trying to put this thing down without dropping it. 1934 to 1936, before they sold LEGO bricks. LEGO was a wooden toy company, and that's the logo they use. So it's a throwback to that. And as I mentioned before, the damper pedal works. We talked about all that stuff in a previous video. A couple more things. This tune played oh, it's not in focus. I'm sorry. And this tune played And come on. There we go. That is the piece that was written by the designer, the non-Lego employee, or the fan designer, because it's from the Ideas catalog. We talked about that before too. Donnie Chen, piece he wrote, which we're going to use to demonstrate the piano in a moment when we get to the demonstration part of the video. Let me focus that again. I'm not using autofocus lock this time because of moving things around. Last but not least, though, before we get to the demonstration, is the bench. This bench is huge. Again, I have a Rachmaninoff size hand. I'm almost tied with Rachmaninoff for the world record. And it's like almost half the size of my hand. That thing's huge. I totally forgot to write down the dimensions before we started, but that's in the unboxing video, by the way. I think it's 1.5 feet by almost 2 feet by 10 inches or something. The piano bench, it goes up and down. First of all, let me show you the inner workings of this thing. It's pretty elaborate. This was actually the most complicated build of it all. This is like its own Technic build, just on its own. Can I do this with one hand is the question. Spin it down, and it takes forever, just like a real-life bench. It takes forever to move it up and down, but that's okay. And then we'll move it back up again, like so. It's really laborious, but again, real life. Everything's put together. It is now done, and here is the bag of extra pieces. I know people like to see that. There we go, quite a bit. There are about 1 or 2 extra pieces per bag. Remember, there are 21 bags, so you build it in order. So, I mean, that Lego separator was part of the kit. That's not an extra piece, but a whole bunch of pieces in there, maybe 50 pieces or so in there. So anyway, that is the build complete. I'm not going to make you go to my other channel for a demonstration. I'm going to reset everything and get a second phone ready to record, load up the app, and we'll do the demonstration right now. So here we are. We're going to demonstrate the Lego Grand Piano through the powered up app. I know my piano, real life piano in the background is extremely distracting. I thought it would look cool, but it's terribly distracting, but I'm not going to change it. So you have the powered up app. It looks like that. By the way, here is my real life phone case. It's on forced lock right now, so I'll just go like that. There's my real life phone case. I think it's super cool. People always ask me about it. They're like, hey, I know what that is, and then we talk about stuff. It's really cool. Well, now with COVID, but before COVID. So here we go. There's the powered up app. You hit the grand piano one, and then, oh my gosh, you can see all the reflection in the studio. Anything you're not supposed to see back there, I think it's okay. You need to go into the piano and turn it on like this. You simply push the on button, and then it connects to your phone. And once it's on, you close the trapdoor, move your camera back, and then you readjust a few things. There we go. And where do you put the bench? Put the bench wherever you want. In real life, well, if you want to know what a piano teacher would say, since I am one, you want to be able to stand up without bonking your knees. That's how you do the distance. Most people sit too close, especially boys, for some reason. And then you want your forearms to be straight when you play. Now that's what a teacher would say. In real life, do whatever's comfortable and works best for you, right? Don't listen to us teachers. We don't know what we're talking about. Listen to the artist inside you. I used to sit with the bench really far back, and I would sit down and actually lean on the end like this and wedge it. And that's how I would play. And I would have a very, very low. I don't do that anymore because I have a lot of pain. So I actually sit way too high because I have to determine pain in the forearms and shoulders or pain in the back. And the back overrides the forearm. So I actually sit too high. A teacher would not like how high I sit, but I have to because of my back pain. I'm also 42 years old, not 12. So in case you wanted to know that, there you go. Let's get the app going. So here it is. There are 2 things you can do. You can play the piano. There's that sensor in there I talked about. Or you can listen to it play, and that's the motor I talked about. Let's listen to the motor first. So you hit listen, and then you turn up your volume because I always keep mine low. There you go. And then there are 2 pages of pieces. So there are 20 songs, not even focusing. I'm not going to play any of them for you other than the composer's original for copyright reasons. Because remember, even though Beethoven, for example, his music itself is not copyright anymore, any recordings of that music is copyright. So you can't just throw Beethoven on YouTube because you're going to be throwing up a recording and it's going to be copyright unless you have the right to it, right? So here we go. We're going to do Playday. That is the composer's original. So let me put the music on the desk like so. Reach around my equipment. I'm not a professional reviewer. Oh dear, looks terrible. Let's focus it and let's do focus lock. Come on. There you go. I'm going to hit Playday. And then I'm going to hit play. And then you can hear it. It's probably muted on the microphone, I can't tell. And then can you see the keys moving? Let me move the camera around a little bit. Can you see that? Isn't that awesome? And the music on the screen will jump up and down. It's not really the real music, probably for copyright again, but there's music on there, and it moves around. Isn't that awesome? So there you go. There's a quick demonstration. Again, because of copyright stuff, I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm going to stop it now. And then there's a reset button that's supposed to reset the keys so they're all level. And there you go. The keys are all level. So now the other thing you can do is you can play. So what can you play? Well, there's some 9 songs there you can play. I guess there's just 9 songs you can play. Let's do For Elise. Now this you're going to hear is me playing. So this isn't a recording playing. So I can play this all I want and there's no copyright. So if you know the tune, you can actually play the actual notes. I can't reach. Or what you can do is just play single notes with the rhythm. Right, because there's just a sensor in there that every time you push any key, it lifts the bar and that puts out the note. See, that's all it is. You can do it again. You can just play the same note if you want to, or pretend you're playing. Play as many as you want. You're just lifting the bar. All right, and then it keeps going. So fun. And you can go on and on like that. And if you know the other tunes, you can play all the other ones. Again, not copyright, because this would be my recording essentially, right? And so on and so on. Happy Birthday to You just actually released from copyright, but I'm not going to play it because that might pick up. Jingle Bells, technically not in technically copyrighted. Wish Merry Christmas is also, I believe, copyrighted. Ode to Joy is not. And you can play any key you want. Or play along if you know the notes. The music on the screen is not the actual song. It's just these random note looking thing. I should actually play what's on the screen for real on a real piano, but I'm not going to. Again, copyright. London Bridge, you know, that's probably fine. Frère Jacques is probably fine. I can't see that far away. What does that say? An der Schönen blauen Dauer by Strauss. Oh, is that Blue Danube? Sure it is, and then that's it for that. So then you would not have to reset the keys when you play it. So anyway, anything else to say? I think that is it. That is the Lego Grand Piano Ideas number 31. And kit number 21,000 something is in the title. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the other channel, depending which one you came from. And that's it. I'll see you next time.